Everyone, you might think like this. What's dangerous about bathing, isn't it? To warm up your body and relieve fatigue? Yes, that's right. Soaking in hot water has a great effect when you're young, but it's a completely different story beyond the age of 65. As we get older, the heart, blood vessels, and nervous systems in our bodies start to change. Especially the place called autonomous nervous system doesn't respond as quickly as it used to. The autonomic nervous system plays a very important role in regulating body temperature, stabilizing blood pressure, and controlling heart rate even if we are not aware of it. But what happens when you soak yourself in hot water? Suddenly, the blood vessels in the skin open up, and the blood from all over the body is concentrated toward the skin. At this point, the blood pressure drops, and the heart starts beating very fast to keep up with this change. For older adults with a weak heart, or conditions such as hypertension, angina, and arrhythmia, the change is a huge shock. Especially in winter, the temperature difference between inside and outside. The bathroom is severe. In the process of moving into cold air, hot bathrooms, and cold air again, the heart continues to overload. As a result, accidents that lead to fainting, or even a heart attack in the bathroom are repeated every year. I'll tell you the story of a 90-year-old grandfather I actually treated. This person has taken a bath, soaking in hot water every day for more than 60 years. Mr. Kim, I'm so healthy because of the bath every day. I still remember you smiling brightly and showing off. But one winter day, he suddenly fell unconscious in the bathtub while taking a bath. Fortunately, he saved his life because his family found him quickly and took emergency measures. But he had to stay in the intensive care unit for a while after that. The impact made moving a lot uncomfortable. Such accidents are not uncommon. For those aged 65 or older, if they soak themselves in hot water for more than 15 minutes, it is known that the burden on the cardiovascular system increases by more than 20 to 30%. This amount of pressure is similar to the pressure on the heart. When a young person jogs, if you have heart disease or have poor blood pressure control, the risk is much greater. So, what should I do? Don't worry, it's very simple. First, keep the water temperature below 38 to 40 degrees. Test the water with the back of your hand. When you put your hand in, it's appropriate to say, "Oh, it's warm, it feels good." If you feel hot, it's already dangerous. Second, it is important that the bath time does not exceed 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, the warm warmth spreads to the body. If you stay longer than that, your heart will feel burdened. Third, drink enough water before and after bathing. If you lose water while sweating during the bath, your blood pressure may drop further. A glass of warm water becomes a small, protective film that relieves the burden on the heart. And fourthly, it's better not to take a bath alone, especially if you are 80 years old or older. Your family is close to you if possible. Please allow me to look at it from time to time during the bath. It's a small preparation, a small habit, but each of these can protect the lives of your beloved elderly. I'm telling you again, if you are 65 years old or older, it is never safe to soak in hot water for a long time. Shorten warm water. Habits of bathing comfortably. This is the wisdom for healthy old age. Everyone, please remember this story today. Your small changes can protect your family's happiness longer. Everyone, the habit of cleaning your bath is definitely important. But did you know that washing too often and too often can be harmful to our bodies? Especially for those aged 65 and over. Respond completely differently than when their skin was young. When we're young, the skin creates a lot of lipid, or natural, protective film on its own. Thanks to this protective film, we were able to protect our skin from external stimuli, keep it hydrated, and stay healthy. However, as you get older, your ability to create this protective film gradually declines. Especially beyond the age of 65, skin lipid production capacity drastically decreases to less than half of those in their 20s. Simply put, it means that the skin's ability to protect itself weakens. What happens if you take a hot shower every day in this state and rub your whole body in soap? Even the remaining precious protective film is washed away. Eventually, the skin is unprotected and exposed to outside air, dust, and germs. As a result, the skin becomes drier and more itchy. I'll tell you the story of a 78-year-old grandmother named Kim, who I actually treated. My grandmother has maintained the habit of taking a clean bath all her life. Especially in winter, he soaked himself in warm water in the morning and evening and wiped his whole body with a rough towel. At first, he said he felt refreshed and good, but at some point, I developed itching all over my body, and I started to lose sleep scratching every night. When I examined it, my skin was seriously dry, and there were microscopic cracks everywhere. Even during the scratching process, a small wound was formed and bacteria were infected and inflammation occurred. My grandmother asked me, Mr. Kim, I like clean things so much that I cleaned every single day. Was this wrong? It was a very heartbreaking question. In fact, many elderly people believe that washing up is healthy. However, excessive bathing can cause skin to become sick and poor in quality of life. So what should I do? Don't worry, there are healthy ways. First, the number of baths should be reduced to 2-3 times a week. It should give your skin time to recover on its own. You can keep it clean enough without washing it every day. Second, use soap only on essential areas. Just gently wipe off areas that smell like armpits, groins, and feet. You don't have to rub your whole body with soap every day. Third, choose a mildly acidic soap or cleanser that does not burden the skin. Products with a pH of 5.5 to 6.0 are good. Regular soaps are highly alkaline, which can make your skin drier, so it's a good idea to avoid them. Fourth, be sure to apply moisturizer within 3 minutes after bathing. Immediately after the bath, the skin loses moisture the fastest. You have to apply moisturizer in that short 3 minutes to prevent moisture evaporation. Fifth, when choosing a moisturizer, choose a product containing ceramide or hyaluronic acid. These two ingredients have an excellent effect on keeping the skin moist. You can easily get it from pharmacies, marts, or anywhere on the internet. You just need to check if the words ceramide or hyaluronic acid are written on the back of the product. In just 2 weeks after practicing this method, 78-year-old grandmother Margaret also improved her skin itching by more than 80%. Since I didn't scratch it at night, I was able to sleep well, and my whole body condition is much better. Everyone, please remember, cleanliness is important, but too much can harm your health. In a gentle, moderate, and skin-loving way, please protect your precious body. Guys, you slip while taking a bath. Everyone can have it at least once. You can think of it as this lightly. But when you're over 65, especially when you're over 80, falls in the bathroom are anything but mild. Sometimes that one little slip can be an event, big enough to change the whole life. When we were young, even if we fell, we could just go, oops, and get up. But it's different when you get older. Bones weaken, muscles and ligaments weaken, and your sense of balance becomes dull. The moment you fall, your bones can break easily, and you can even hit your head and get seriously injured. In particular, bathrooms are slippery and have a very high risk of falling due to wet moisture. According to a survey by a large hospital in Seoul, 38% of falls in the elderly aged 65 or older occur in bathrooms. This means that more than 1 in 3 elderly falls occur in the bathroom. I also have a memorable patient. It's about an 88-year-old aunt. On a winter day, the moment I tried to get up warm in the bathtub as usual, the floor was slippery, so he stopped falling. The moment you fell, your hip broke, and you were immediately taken to the emergency room. The operation was successful, but the problem followed. After a hip fracture, movement becomes very uncomfortable. As the time spent lying in bed increases, muscles contract quickly. It is often followed by secondary diseases such as pneumonia and bed sores. Okay, so what should I do? Fortunately, the method is not difficult. First, make sure to place an anti-slip mat on the bathroom floor. Most of the slipping in the bathroom is due to the wet floor. The price is not burdensome, and the installation is simple. With this one small change, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling. Second, install a safety handle around the bath or next to the toilet. If you have a place to support your body, you can survive a momentary loss of balance. The handle can be a lifeline, especially when you wake up in the bathtub. Third, use a bathroom chair. Taking a standing shower is easy to fall because the center of gravity is shaken. Studies have shown that sitting in a chair and taking a shower can reduce the risk of falling by more than 90%. Fourth, move slowly before and after bathing. It's easy to get dizzy when you get out of the bathtub in a hurry or move in a hurry, especially right after you come out of hot water. Your blood pressure drops and you can get dizzy. Remember, don't rush, take your time. Fifth, it is safest not to bathe alone, especially if you are over 80 years old or have a weak health condition. If possible, set up an environment where your family can be nearby and help you. A small consideration is also good to open the door slightly, so that you can call it at any time, so that you don't feel burdened by each other. Even my 88-year-old aunt and grandfather changed small things after she was born. I put a non-slip mat in the bathroom, put a handle next to the bathtub. When I took a bath, I always sat in the shower chair and washed. And before and after the bath, you made sure your family was nearby and started. As a result, you have been living safely without a single fall accident for more than a year. In addition, as I get used to the habit of sitting and taking a bath, my body is much more comfortable, and the bath time has become enjoyable. Falling is not just a mistake. In old age, it can be a big accident that can shake life to the core. To make the bathroom not slippery, move slowly, and with someone if possible. These little arrangements are the surest way to keep our precious family healthy. Everyone, please keep the story you heard today in your heart. For you and your family's healthy old age. We can start from now on. Everyone, bathing is a good habit. At the end of the day, the time when you wash your body and mind cleanly, it must be such a precious time. By the way, this precious time is a bad habit. Did you know that it could threaten our health? Today, we are going to share two important topics together. It's the risk of a body temperature plunge after a bath and the problem of excessive cleanliness. First, let's talk about the body temperature after the bath. As a person gets older, his ability to control his or her body temperature decreases significantly. When you are young, your body keeps your body temperature constant. In old age, this feature is reduced by more than 40%, especially for those over 80 years old after taking a bath in hot water. Immediately exposed to a cold room or cold air, your body temperature drops sharply. As a result, the body cools down quickly and can fall into a dangerous situation called hypothermia. Everyone, hypothermia is not just about being cold. In severe cases, the consciousness becomes blurred, the heartbeat slows. It's a scary symptom that can even threaten your life in serious cases. In fact, there's a case of a 92-year-old woolly grandmother I've experienced. You took a warm bath, but you didn't dry your hair properly after the bath. You've been in the cold room for a long time. Eventually, the body temperature dropped to the depths of the body, and he was taken to the emergency room. At that time, my grandmother's temperature was 34.5 degrees. Very dangerous. So what should I do? First, please warm up the bathroom before the bath. The process of getting in and out of hot water in cold bathrooms is the most dangerous. Second, after taking a bath, wash your body thoroughly with a warm towel immediately. If moisture remains, it evaporates and takes away body temperature faster. Third, please wear warm clothes right away. In particular, your hair needs to be completely dried. Wet hair is a big cause of dropping body temperature quickly. Fourth, drink a hot drink after taking a bath. It is very helpful to keep warm from deep inside the body. Lastly, please adjust the bath time between 2 p. m and 4 p. m during winter. This is the highest temperature of the day, which can reduce the risk of body temperature changes. By following these 5 habits, you can greatly reduce the risk of hypothermia. It may seem trivial, but these are the very arrangements that give you a life-saving seatbelt. Excessive cleanliness lowers immunity and risks of infection. Let's move on to the second story. Washing clean is good for your health. We've been learning that since we were young. But guys, do you remember the word overpaid? Excessive cleanliness can be rather harmful to the body. There are a lot of good germs living on our skin. This is called the skin microbiome. These good germs are from bad germs and viruses. It acts as a nature shield that protects us. But what happens if you wash your whole body with strong soap every day? Good bacteria are also washed away together. When you're young, your skin recovers quickly. When you're over 65, your recovery slows down dramatically. As a result, your skin is much more vulnerable to external irritation. Infection or inflammation can easily occur. Let me tell you the case of an 83-year-old grandmother named Zhong. This person has had the habit of wiping his whole body with soap once a day in his life. You firmly believed that being clean is the secret to your health. But every winter, there are fine cuts on the skin. Germs entered the gap and caused dermatitis and infection. The biggest problem is that skin health is also linked to respiratory health. According to the results of the study, the elderly who wash their whole body with soap every day, it is said that you are more likely to get an upper respiratory tract infection. That is, a cold or bronchitis. This is because the skin's immune system is weakened. It's the same principle that the whole body's defense system collapses. So, what should I do? First, limit the number of baths to 2 to 3 times a week. It is necessary to give the skin time to recover naturally. Second, avoid antibacterial soap or strong body wash. Products with the word antibacterial on them kill even good germs. Instead, it's a good idea to choose a mildly acidic moisturizing cleanser. Third, use soap only on areas that smell like armpits, groin, and feet. Rinsing the rest of the area lightly with only soft water is enough. Fourth, apply moisturizer within 3 minutes after bathing. It can prevent moisture from leaking out to the skin. and restore a healthy protective layer. Lastly, fifth, keep indoor humidity between 40 and 60%. This is because dry air makes the skin weaker. It's important to keep clean, respecting and protecting my body's natural defenses. This is the wisdom of making a really healthy old age. Taking a long bath with hot water and washing up with soap every day. These habits that I didn't know when I was young. The fact that it can be a big risk in old age, now we know. From now on, warm and soft bath, with a wise habit of cleanliness. Please take care of and protect your precious body more. Guys, throughout our lives, we have been told that clean is healthy. And if we don't wash for a day, we will be in big trouble. I've heard this from my parents since I was young. So the older you get, the more likely you are to become obsessed with the word clean. But today, I want to ask you a very important question. Does cleanness mean health? My parents' generation, the elderly aged 70 to 90 now, you've gone through difficult times yourself. It was a time when it was hard to get a bucket of clean water. It was a time when the desperate mind to live by washing clean was engraved to the bone every time an infectious disease circulated. So even now, you'll be in trouble if you don't take a shower for a day. It's a nuisance when it smells. That's what I naturally came to think. But now we are different. Clean water is abundant, and the sanitary environment is much better. You don't have to take the fear or compulsion of the past as it is. But in old age, too much cleanliness. To soften the skin, it lowers immunity. This can result in side effects that increase the risk of infection. In particular, the elderly over 80 wash their entire bodies with soap every day. If you rub your body with hot water, even the good germs are gone. There are fine cuts on the skin. Eventually, infections and inflammations become more frequent. Now let's put down some stereotypes about cleanliness. It's time for a new embrace of wise cleanliness habits. Clean is, to the extent that it does not harm one's health. Please remember that you have to protect to bring true health. A lukewarm bath is the answer to improving sleep quality. The following is a story that many people are curious about. I heard hot baths help you fall asleep. Yes, it is when you are young. If you soak in hot water, your body temperature rises slightly. This is because you naturally feel sleepy when your body temperature drops again. However, things change in old age over 65. As you get older, your ability to control your body temperature decreases. Even after a hot bath, your body temperature shakes unstable. This irregular change in body temperature is rather disturbing your sleep. It makes you lose sleep. It causes a reduction in deep sleep. Let me tell you an example of my own experience. My 82-year-old aunt took a hot bath and went to bed every evening in her life. But as I get older, I wake up often at night. I can't sleep deeply. I came to complain of tiredness in the morning. I suggested it carefully. Grandma, from today on, just soak in lukewarm water at around 38 degrees for 5 minutes and take a bath 3 hours before bedtime. The result was amazing. In just a week, the number of times I woke up in the night decreased significantly. I'm falling asleep like I'm falling asleep these days. Instead, try this. First, only gently wipe off smelly areas such as armpits, groin, and feet every day. These areas are sweaty and easy for germs to reproduce, so partial management is enough. Second, the rest of the area can be lightly rinsed with water. Protecting the skin's natural protective layer is more beneficial to your health. Third, apply moisturizer within 3 minutes after bathing, especially if you use moisturizers that contain ceramides or hyaluronic acid. It moisturizes the skin and creates a healthy barrier. Fourth, avoid antibacterial soap and use a mildly acidic cleanser. This is because antibacterial products remove even good bacteria. Fifth, keep indoor humidity between 40 and 60%. Dry air makes skin more prone to damage. Everyone, cleanliness is an important virtue. But to the extent that it is not too much, to the extent that it does not harm health, taking good care of our bodies. This is true wise cleanliness. Put down the stereotype of cleanliness. Warm up your body comfortably with lukewarm water. Wash only the parts you need gently, keeping the skin moist. So the last thing I want to say is these two. One is to change the living environment first. Another thing is to change habits slowly and gradually. First of all, let's think about the living environment. Small arrangements for making clean and safe bathrooms. There is an anti-slip mat on the bathroom floor. Install a safety handle next to the bathtub, making the bathroom temperature warm in advance. Also, I make a habit of washing in a shower chair. Wipe your body quickly with a warm towel immediately after taking a bath. Having warm clothes ready. And you must change your habits slowly. For those of you who have been bathing every day of your life, please take a bath twice a week. Of course, you'll feel rejected. That's why I suggest it. Start with reducing the bath you used to take twice a day to once. And then, what you do every day, every other day, it's gradually decreasing slowly and naturally. After 3 or 6 months, your body and mind naturally accept this change. Don't overdo it. Don't put pressure on it. Driving change by feeling for yourself. That's the real wise change. If this video helped you, please press subscribe and like button. If you set the alarm, you'll be the first to receive more health and wisdom stories. Have a healthy and warm day today. Thank you.